Hello, Kingdom Influencers. Today is the final day of our 3-day live Facebook series. If you are tuning in, let me know in the comments, let me know the country that you're from, and just let me know if you have watched the live or the replay of day 1 and day 2, what you have learned so far. So today, let's interact a little bit. I encourage you to participate because as you can see in the caption, you are now able to download your confidence worksheet so that you can start implementing what we have learned so far. So for those of you that's new to me, my name is Megan Brainers. I am a #1 international best-selling author. I'm a prophetic book coach as well as a speaker and a spiritual mentor. I'm super excited about today's session, guys, and I'm going to be challenging you. I'm going to be encouraging you, and we're going to help you just to get a quick win so that you can get out of your own way. Is that okay? So if you are joining in, make yourself at home, get your beverages, put on those slippers, just be authentic, right? Because that's exactly who I am. So if this is the very first time that you watch any of my videos, so I have been sharing on day 1. Day 1, we spoke about confidence to write, and we went into the message that God has given you. So you can go back. I've actually pinned that video. I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave up the videos on Facebook, so be sure that you go and watch the replays. Day 2 should also be in my feed. So on day 2 we spoke about confidence in your message, about monetizing your message, about the 3 P's, having the right posture, giving yourself permission to engage on social media, on your email list, wherever your community is, and then also positioning yourself as a go-to expert. So those 3 P's is still relevant for today's session. So today we're speaking all things confidence to set goals, as well as vision casting. So we are going to bring everything together today. And before I deep dive into the content and help you to set now goals so that you can get now money, I want to speak to the mindset that you need to have as a kingdom author. So I use mindset coaching in all my programs. So I am a prophetic book coach, but mindset is key. Like, you need to have the right shifts for you to get the results and to get breakthrough. So I'm a dreamer, right? I am a global visionary. Excuse me, I'm gonna just check my phone. So if you do have questions or statements or just want to say hi, please feel free to do so. I'll be able to have a look on my side and just see any questions that you may have for me. So I'm a dreamer, and um, I've got this big vision, and I dream with God and I partner with Holy Spirit. But sometimes I have to rein myself in. Like, you need to be self-aware about what you're thinking and who you're spending time with. So if you are multi-creative, if you are multidimensional, you want to make sure that you're not all over the place. That if you have set a goal for yourself, that you stick to the one thing, you get it done, and then you move on to the next thing. Because what we do often as kingdom leaders, as called to the marketplace as well as ministry, we overcommit ourselves and then we don't follow through. Who am I speaking to? Right? So we're going to stop the overthinking, we're going to stop the overcommitting, we're going to stop the double-mindedness, and we are going to stop doubting our abilities. Why? Because our people need us to show up. So if you know that you are a perfectionist, everything needs to be to the T. No one is judging you and saying, oh, wow, look, she missed step 5, or, oh, wow, she missed step 2. No, you're going to figure it out as you go along. And this is the biggest stumbling block for kingdom entrepreneurs that has mandate from God. I'm going to call these things out because I want you to experience a now win and to get the breakthrough. We are in the month of September now, so we can no longer play small, right? I'm speaking to someone today. So if you are tuning in, you are a kingdom entrepreneur, you have a book inside of you, whether it's your first book or your next book. I want to help you to create impact with that book, but not just impact, also income and influence. So we're speaking about the mindset behind goal setting and also casting vision for your book, and then being clear on your message and also the people that you are called to serve. I want to start off by saying that the reason why you haven't finished the thing yet is because your priorities are all over the place. That's number one. Let's get it out there. Your priorities and your focus is not where it's supposed to be. Many come to me and say, Megan, I don't know how to set goals, or I haven't reached my goal. It's because you've been distracted, or there's a lot of things that is screaming for your attention. So what you need to do is you need to sit down and clarify what are your three major priorities, and is it in alignment with the tasks that you want done in the season. If it's not, that is probably why there's blind spots or there's a gap. So it's so much more than just help me to set the goal and help me to achieve it. There's a mindset behind it, there's a psychology behind it, and there's attitudes and behaviors that need to be adjusted and adapted to so that you can actually get into the right mindset and be driven from the inside out, not by people, not by inspirational words, but you actually are motivated, you have vision, you have passion, and you're clear on who it is that you are serving. Because if those factors are missing, you're always going to miss the mark. So I want to help you to hit the target and to fine-tune your message so that you can create the impact that you're desiring. I also want to say that life happens to us, but also for us. So what you may view as a challenge or as a stumbling block, right? Those are things that you can use in your writing. It's not supposed to halt you. It's not supposed to stop you from moving forward, because what I've seen as marketplace leaders and as anointed kingdom women in ministry and marketplace, as soon as we face a challenge, we stop. We stop everything. We go into hiding. Why do we do that? Because we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to fail. We don't want to let other people down. So these are all thinking styles and negative habits that is no longer serving our purpose. So if you want to hit the target, get the goal, create the income, you need to try a new thing. You need a new strategy. So if you are not good at time management, identify the areas or the times of the day that you are most productive. So if you are always busy, you're always helping everyone and you're never getting down to your things, asking yourself, do you have boundaries? Have you set boundaries for yourself, or are you betraying your boundaries on a daily basis? Are you people pleasing? Are you giving into other people's visions and other people's opinions? Because that is probably why you're not getting the things done. And this is really authentic conversation I'm having with you, and I'm really putting on my coaching hat because I've seen too many miss out on their destiny and not confidently walking in their calling. We're speaking all things mindset right now. We're speaking about the art of goal setting and casting vision so that we can yield results. So if we are not bearing fruit in our business, in our personal life, in our emotional life, in our mental health, all of these things needs to fit in together. These are all missing pieces. So for instance, one thing that you can do You can write down the different elements as it pertains to you. Business, spiritual life, mental capacity, emotional well-being, relationships. You can jot them down on a page. This can be during your activity when you are setting goals, and evaluate yourself and actually write down where you find yourself. It can be on a scale from 1 to 5. And then you go down the list, and then the areas that you are not growing in or accelerating in, those are then the goals that you can start setting for yourself. So you may want to have be deliberate by not doing them all at once. For instance, 1 week you can focus on one thing, the next week, or you can even do it monthly, depending on where you find yourself. So you may be a full-time entrepreneur, or you may be working for an employer, and then part-time you are coaching, you're authoring, or you are speaking. So being productive means that you need to have a plan, but also being flexible for when God wants to disrupt your plan. So as you can already hear, that you need to partner with God in this. This is something that you cannot do on your own. If you're going to steward your gifts well, and the book that God has asked you to write, and everything that He's given you, if you're going to steward that well, you need to have a plan. So when it comes to you setting a goal and vision casting, like when you get interrupted, how long does it take for you to go back and actually finish what you started? So do you have a calendar, an appointment book, and do you actually write out months ahead of time what it is that you want to do? Because if you are doing it as you're going along, you're never going to get anything done. You're never going to bear any fruit. Why? Because they're always going to want to steal your time. So you need to set times and days aside and actually write down what you're going to be focused on. If you're someone that visualizes, you maybe want to have a vision board, or you want to have some form of visualization so that you can track your goals, your dreams, whatever you set for yourself. If you are someone, you need to write it out, you like journaling, you want to make sure that you set time aside with God. You want to make sure that you have an accountability partner, so when you don't get the things done and you self-sabotage, you ask yourself, why do you keep on doing that? So there are heavenly mandated books inside of you, and that is it's my passion. I'm driven about it because I see so many start and they don't finish. So what are the underlying nitty-gritty, the little foxes that comes out and that is stopping you dead in your tracks, so that you don't start, so that you don't create, so that you don't execute ideas? Like, what are those things? You need to sit with that. So I've spoken about the mindset. Let's speak about the execution. So when it comes to, setting goals, a lot of times we can be focusing on too many things at one time, especially if we're multidimensional or multi-creative. So you would want to we're speaking about, your urgent need. We're speaking about something that you want to get done right now. If you want to finish a book now, and you're thinking about the book that you want to write, what are you going to be doing once a week to move the needle and actually get it done? Right? What are you going to be doing once a month? How often do you need to do it? So can you see that there is a plan of action? There's action steps that need to, it can't just be wishful thinking. A lot of people would come, I'm not sure how to map out my book. Okay, which point of reference are you starting at when it comes to mapping out your book? Have you done your research? Do you know who you're writing to? Do you know what you're writing about? Most of the time they don't. So you can't just jump and say, I don't know how to map out my book. You need to start at the beginning, have a vision for where you want to go. Actually write down the vision, right? Remember I said note takers and action takers get results, because you're partnering with God, and when you write things down, you mean business, right? You are actually coming into agreement with the assignment that He has given you. We can't just do things for the sake of any longer, especially if we are stewards of what God has given us. And what I've seen is we are doing things half-heartedly, and that is why we don't finish. So if you know that is a call of your life to be a kingdom author, right? To be an influencer, But when we look at your weekly activities, when we look at the conversations that you're having, when we look at the rooms that you are in, it doesn't point to where you want to go. So that needs to shift. So before you can even set goals and cast vision, there's a posture, there's a made-up mind, there's power in a made-up mind that needs to take place for you to start your journey of transformation. Because your first yes is going to open the door, right? And then you're going to say yes again, and that's going to open the door. But what we do is once we say yes, we waver, we doubt God, we don't trust his plan. And I believe that he makes provision for the vision. And there's so many that is sitting on visions that's saying that, but I don't have the finances. So we need to have a different approach as to how to actually get the assignment done, how to finance the vision, how to finance the book, how are we going to publish the book. We have been given resources by God, and many times he asks us, what are you doing with what is in your hand? Are you leveraging your relationships? Are you leveraging collaborations? Are you putting yourself out there and doing the live and calling out your crowd and your tribe? Are you getting on platforms like podcasts? Are you doing those things? If you are not, you're not showing up. I always tell my clients, when you are writing a book, make sure that you are already building up your audience. You don't want to write it to nobody, because no one is going to buy it. So we want to make sure that you are already nurturing and growing your community, asking them questions, asking them the problems that they are having, so that you know that you're hitting the target and you are solving those problems. If you have any questions, I'm just going to check in on Facebook. Let me know, because I actually want to do like a mini Q&A and actually answer you on the spot. If I do miss anything, let me know. Okay, I see Marsha is here. Hi, Marsha. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So even Marsha, I know you're watching right now. Is there any specific questions you have when it comes to, I know you are an international ambassador. So do you have questions pertaining to creating impact with your book, leveraging the book, how to use the book as a thought leader? Perhaps you can just let me know. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So someone like Marsha, she's an international, she's an ambassador, she's a vessel of God. And I always say, if you are in a capacity of leadership, or if you are stewarding people, writing a book should come naturally to you. You are already an expert in your own right. So the mistake and the myth that a lot of entrepreneurs, they believe, is that they are not experts. But if you are coming out of a field or industry, you are already an expert. May not be as an author yet, if it is the first book that you are writing, but you're already flowing in the gifts, you're already self-aware, you already know your skills, your talents, and all those type of things. It's just about connecting the dots and actually aligning that to the book that you want to write. I also want to say that our convictions that we get from God should be greater than the fear that lies behind not finishing it. Because I've seen that, especially in our childhood, in our upbringing, there's a lot of underlying fears. The fear of being judged, the fear of people's opinions, the fear of failure, the fear of success. That's the thing. The fear of not becoming who God has created us to be. There's so many negative talk, there's so many noises that is preventing us from stepping into the fullness of what God wants for us. And I want to encourage someone today, and I want to say, it's time to come out of the shadows, and it's time to unlock your voice. This is a month and a season of birthing right now, but you are not going to bear fruit. You are not going to yield results, and you are not going to publish a book if you are not positioned to reap a harvest. How do you reap a harvest? You sow. How do you sow? You sow your time, not just your money, your energy. What are you speaking? What are you speaking about your future? What are you speaking about yourself? What are other people speaking over you? Who are you connected to? All those things matter. Posture matters. Where you currently find yourself matters. Knowing the season that you are in matters. If you don't know the season that you are in, I cannot stop stressing this, then you're not going to know how to show up. Some don't know when to move. Others don't know when to wait on God. So you need to discern and ask the Lord, for guidance. Ask him if you're not sure. I know some of my clients, they flow in the gifts of exhortation, and then in a certain season, God has made them more aware of their prophetic gifting. So now I show them now how to align their giftings and their skills and their talents, and how to actually package that and put that together in some of their services. Some of you are creative writers. Some of you have the gift of writing and you don't even know it because it hasn't been activated yet. Some of you are prophetic scribes, but it's never been declared to you. Some of you have received prophetic words, but you haven't brought it to remembrance. Maybe someone spoke over you, or God reminded you of who you are, but you forgot about that word. It's time to go dig it out again. Go out and go get those journals. Go out and go get those voice notes where someone spoke over you, and start decreeing and declaring the things that you have heard that was spoken over your life. What also happens is discouragement tries to creep in, dissatisfaction, loss of hope because of life. But I want to encourage you, and I want to say that be prepared to walk it out. Be prepared for the long journey, when it comes to writing. You can finish your book in as little as 60 days. You can publish your book in as little as 3 months to 6 months. That is totally up to you. You set the tone. So when I started writing, I was already a leader, even though for years I thought that I was going to be a follower. But the Lord had a sense of humor, because for 10 years I was a junior flight attendant, and then I applied for senior. So 4 years out of the 14, I was a senior flight attendant. But the enemy tried to steal my identity. And what happened was, I always thought I was a follower. I never in my wildest dream thought that I would be a leader of leaders to begin with. And that is when my journey started. I learned the skills, the technique, the experiences, personal experiences, and the character, the growth, and all of that. The Lord is taking me to the next level of growth. But it's a decision that I had to make, that especially if you're a leader of people's destiny and you're speaking to their lives, there's a certain responsibility, there's an authority that comes with that. So it may be that you even unclear about that. Like, that you're anointed, but you're not owning your authority. You're not owning your story. Well, that needs to change. And I'm speaking to you specifically today. Are you standing in the power that God has given you? Are you embracing those spiritual endowments? Because it's time now for you to unlock your voice and to call out those that you have been called to serve. So I will also leave this opportunity for you just to, at the bottom, let me know the areas that you are struggling in, or, just maybe perhaps what you can do is make a commitment. And whether it is a commitment that you make in the comments, or maybe it's something that you tell yourself, that you are going to be deliberate to take action to get the book done, or to create a course from the book that you've already written, or to be more intentional about your marketing, or to get more clarity around those that you are called to serve. But choose one thing, just one, that you will be focusing on this month, right? That you can take action on now. This is the homework that you have, that you can take action on now towards mapping out your book or creating impact on a global scale. I'm going to repeat that again. So your homework, your takeaway, is to choose one thing that you will be focusing on this month that you can take action on now towards mapping out or creating your book for impact? So I'm going to leave that question with you. When I'm done with the live, I'm going to write it out again at the bottom. And if you are serious about finishing the book, if you are serious about standing in your authority, if you are serious about showing up in power and unlocking your voice, I have in the description, I have left the link for you to download your confidence worksheet. For the month of September, I'm focusing on confidence to write, confidence in your message, all things confidence as a leader. And I want to journey alongside you as your destiny helper and make sure that you get that win, that you get breakthrough, and that you get results. So if you want further support, motivation, encouragement, prophetic activation, then I encourage you to sign up and to download your confidence worksheet in the description. And then you will see that once you'll enter your details, and then you'll be able to download the worksheet. But what I'll be doing over the course of the month, I will be checking in with you and then checking your progress, inviting you to just to have that authentic conversation, because you need accountability and you need community, right? So this is whether it's a nonfiction book, whether it's a devotional, whether it's a journal, and you are in a season now where you don't no longer want to write out in your own strength, but you want to partner with God and you want to reframe and rewrite your story, perhaps a pain to purpose story. Perhaps you've overcome certain things and you're not sure how to put it on paper. I want to journey with you. So I've got different things happening in my community, but I'd be happy just to share more video content when you sign up as well. So you'll get the confidence worksheet, but you'll also be getting more informative storytelling and things that I will be sharing with you by email as well. So if that is you, grab it, click the link, and you can grab that. Let me know in the comments from the 3 days, if you've been following day 1, day 2, day 3, what will you be committing to for accountability? And then what was your greatest takeaway message? I'd also love to hear that the book, what kind of book that you will be writing, and then also how you will be leveraging that as a coach, author, or speaker. It's been amazing journeying with you, absolutely amazing. And if you are looking for a coach, if you are looking for a prophetic book coach or a mentor that is going to keep you accountable, like I'm not the coach that's going to tell you what you want to hear, right? That's just not me. I'm authentic and I will point you in the right direction, but out of everything, I will push you towards your destiny. That's a given. So I'm happy to connect with you and to grow in community. Like I said, if you sign up, you'll be hearing more from me and getting more content if you enjoyed. And if you feel that we are a good fit, if you enjoyed the content that I have been sharing, I do have online courses and additional resources that will help you to get your now win. So that's it from me, everyone. We've been journeying together. What I'm going to do is, I think for the month of September, I'm going to be doing more lives. Let me know in the comments. It will probably be Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays again. But let me know what are topics that you'd love me to speak on, areas that you'd love to grow in, and then just some tools that you need to finish a book, to get it done, so that you can show up as the person that God has created you to be. So that's it from me, everyone. Megan Brainless, your prophetic book coach, author, coach, and speaker. We will see each other again in the online space. So if you'd like to continue with your journey, like I said, be sure to click the link and I will see you in your inbox. Speak to you soon and God bless.